Welcome back guys to the channel Frenzypool. So Moonstone, the member of the Dark Avengers, Moonstone, we're gonna review her in this video. Pretty basic from what we see in the comics, the exact look of her costume and everything. And she's a blast character. We don't have a tier 3 or anything, no awakening, just basic tier 2 character, and she will be unlockable just like Nova Prime in our last epic quest mission. So 6,600 crystals, that is to get her. Okay, now is she worth that? Is she worth 6,600 crystals? So I'm going to showcase her in the World Boss Ultimates Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw, and you guys can find it out yourself like how good she is. So I have the CTB of Rage on her. Okay, I just mentioned that in my previous videos there is no freaking obelisk in this pre-APK, so I cannot showcase her with an obelisk, but I think she may do good with an obelisk itself. So with the rage and talking about the skills, pretty basic skills, most of it, and everything is energy based except for one skill. Don't look at the leadership because it's useless. Dodge rate increases by 6%. I mean, for 6,600 crystals, Nova Prime was worth because he was a support plus he had the leadership. But this one, nothing. And this is the tier 1 passive. Crit rate is guaranteed by 30%. And silence. Now, another thing with Moonstone is the silence ability is inbuilt within the tier 1 passive, and it occurs at times because as you know, when you're attacking rate, it depends on the attacking rate, and then silence appears. Now if you guys just watched the ABX video, you must have seen it's not easy to silence the beast because we don't know when it's going to pop up. So it's quite confusing to play with her you know, in the ABX in case you want to silence the beast. The tier 2 is of course what we see normally in many of the characters. The first two skills are pretty basic skills. The third skill has this bleed plus stun and is the recovery skill and giving 30% increase of all attacks. Now the third skill also has some good amount of damage. It's a damage dealing skill, and the fourth skill is not a damage dealing skill. It actually just provides the buffs and the accumulation. That's what the fourth skill mostly does. So mind control for 4 seconds, there's the mind control, and that helps. It just keeps the enemy at stand over there, and then chance for immunity to all damage for 6 seconds, and the accumulation also starts. So I just cancel the fourth into the fifth one, which is also a long running skill which has the all defense down, okay, up to minus 50%, plus there is an increase of all attacks and defenses by 40%. The stats are now corrected. If you guys watched the first video that I posted about this update, it was at different numbers. Okay, so everything has been set correctly. Now I'll just show you guys the skills. All right, here we go. And she has this flight, and this is the first regular skill, and you can see the silence immediately popping. Okay, the second time I did the damage, there's no silence. This is the first skill, pretty basic skill, just flying in and kicking. And this is the second skill, has a couple of hits with an iframe. There's an iframe on the second skill, and this is the third skill. I guess I told you guys it's a long running skill with this beam of light. Okay, beam of light, it's, you cannot move the character manually, but it does some good hits. Does some pretty good hits. Also giving the heal. Okay, that's the third skill. Now the fourth skill I just mentioned, it's just a buff skill, and here it is. She's buffed. Okay, She is buffed now, and you can see some extra stats out there. Now the fifth skill is another long running skill. Just watch it. That's full iframe, and the hits, you can see the hits going there. So cancelling the fourth into the fifth. Followed by the third skill. Okay, now going directly into Black Dwarf. So Moonstone has the Dark Avengers tag, so the leadership is possible to use of the Green Goblin, and she's a villain, so Shuri for support. I'm just putting Venom there for insurance. Okay, we need that extra heal because survivability is pretty bad. And this is stage 45 of Color Obsidian. Now Color is a pretty hard customer, so I have taken it down to 45. Plus I'm just repeating this like what I said in the previous videos. The stats and everything is completely different in this pre-APK, so everything that you see in this will be changed when the real update comes this week. And immediately you can see there is some really good damage, and the fifth skill is the one that does some really good hits, followed with the third skill. And the third skill is there are possibilities it can get cancelled. Here we go, this is the fifth skill again, just worked with the proc, and third skill just provided the heal, and that's it. Really hard to maintain. Okay, really hard to maintain. Plus there is no Whaler or anything in this. There is nothing over here for this world boss stage, so you know it's pretty hard. But you can see the damage is pretty good. The damage is pretty good. I'll just take you guys into Ebony Maw now. So stage 50 of Ebony Maw. What's fun is she is not surviving, that's one thing, but there is good damage. There is good damage on that fifth skill. So I started off with the fourth, shifting to the third to get some additional buffs from that also, and then shifting into the fifth. The fifth is that long running iframe skill, and you get the maximum damage. But the survivability is the problem over here. Plus I told you guys it's completely different in this pre-APK, so maybe she would be a really good character at free-to-play and at tier 2 level. Tier 2 level, I think she is going to be a decent character. So that's the best I can show you guys, man, because I think in the real, when the game is real, only I can get to show these guys. Now the rest of the characters that's left is Ares, Sentry and Molecule Man. So this is pretty much about Moonstone. The main skill is the fifth skill that plays mostly. You start off with the 4, shift into 3 and then again into 5th. The 5th is a long running skill, and by the time it's over, the other skills just reset. So that's how this character rotates, and I wanted to take her without the CTPs or anything, but it's not easy in this build. So that's pretty much about Moonstone. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, agents.